Welcome viewers, this is Tex of the Black Pants Legion. Now this is an interview. I've spoken with the admins of Space Station 13 before, and they are a notorious antisocial type, who generally don't like to talk with or at people for prolonged periods of time as they are judge, jury, and executioner on a server, and can't be seen demonstrating favoritism, at least in theory. Anyways, here's how this works. I'm putting out an open call to any and all Space Station 13 admins on any public listed servers. This call is here, so answer it. If you're interested in answering or participating in an interview about Space Station 13, its history, and your server, please respond. See the description below for an email contact. I'll try to get to you and we can set something up. That being said, this is an interview with a Space Station 13 admin. The questions are largely freeform, and the discussion does not reflect exactly the policies of the server unless otherwise stated explicitly by the person I'm interviewing. The reason I say that is I want to encourage an admin to be frank, honest, and open about their experiences without worrying that they're shitting on their server or to prevent them from being yelled at for representing the server community in a bad way. This is a point of view and not, I repeat, not an absolute definition of doctrine on said server. That being said, I welcome our interviewer, or interviewee, rather, for today. Please, internet person, tell me your name you wish to go by, your server, and your admin rank.
Right, I go by SOSE or SOSE96, depending. I am the head admin of Archangel Station. Yeah.
So, go ahead and tell us about your server.
Well, I'm fairly certain, exclusively the only Warhammer 40,000 themed space station server, currently on the hub at least. We pull about 30 to 40 players at peak times generally. And, yeah, we're currently trying to improve the state of the server. It's arguably in beta currently.
Alright.
Been up forever.
Alright, and why are you an admin on said server? What made you want to volunteer your time?
Well, I've played there for quite a while, and we, as anyone who knows about Archangel is aware, we've had some messy history with the server, and we had some new management come in, and they had set goals, and I agreed with these set goals. You know, they had a vision for the server I was down with, and so I applied and got the job basically.
All right. What is the hardest part of being an admin on your server?
I don't know if it's intentional or like just trolls, but people who just like griefers, you know, people who come in to do nothing other than ruin the rounds for other people.
It's fairly typical of most servers. What is the greatest challenge you've ever faced as an admin, personally?
Ooh. I think what's really challenging is hiring and disciplining staff, because as head admin, I interact with the staff quite a lot through both the admin channels and in game, and you almost become friends with your staff team in a way, and it becomes very difficult to discipline someone, tell them off or perhaps strip them of their rank when they've got this sort of buddy thing going on.
Yeah.
You feel like you're sort of, taking down a friend, but at the same time you have to try and keep it impartial. So it's trying to get that balance between like doing the job and having friends. It's weird.
I understand it though.
Yeah.
What do you think are the greatest problems with Space Station 13 today, or at least from the perspective of your server?
From our server specifically is old base code. In general, I think it's the loud minority of the community that can kind of make the game's community come across as really shitty. But in reality, a lot of the community are really friendly people, but it's just this like loud minority of people who can come across quite hostile and you know.
That sort of normies get out approach.
Yeah,
to
that
things.
like, oh, here come the Grey Tiders because someone shouted out our game. When like a lot of people are like, nice new players.
Yeah.
There's that group of people who will like go mad and like, I can't believe you shouted the game out. Like it's that sort of stuff.
All right, all right. How do you combat special snowflakes? Some stations have an issue with this, some do not. If you
Um,
elaborate as you will.
well, in what sense? Like making your own character a special snowflake,
I
or
mean, like when someone has a character that has to be, by force, the center of any role playing in a server and always tries to take center place and always really whines when they don't get their way. Those sorts of players.
um, currently our server is very action focused, so generally people end up, like there is roleplay for sure, but if you're going to be a special snowflake, you generally have to be actually good at the combat system because generally, like if you want to be, say, an inquisitor, if you want to back the talk rate, otherwise people are just going to think you're a numpty.
Hmm.
And we have this system in place which allows once per round you can rejoin the game as a variety of factions. Like you could come back as a space marine, as inquisitor, orcs, tyranids, depending. And that kind of enables people to have their own little special snowflake, but at the same time, it's in a sort of semi-controlled manner.
I understand that. So, what is your opinion on people who play on your server and record, or those who stream?
I'm not sure anyone ever has, but it would be nice if they did. It would be nice to be able to watch footage of people playing and hear their opinions direct or live, as so we can see like what issues people have, what people like, what people would like changing, suggestions, etc. It would be useful.
So, just useful as constructive feedback.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can learn a lot through because obviously we as an admin team only see what we see, but some players have, or everyone has a different experience, right? And there's never too much information you can have about what needs changing, what's wrong, or just suggestions in general, really.
So, what do you think makes a good admin good?
Professionalism, I think. Not getting angry when replying to admin helps. You know, generally trying to come across as an admin in most situations, and not yourself. Um, Having a good understanding of the, rules of the server and the rules of the admin team, because they're definitely separate things. And being friendly overall.
Now, what do you think makes a bad admin truly bad?
People who power trip, people who will get angry during an A help and look for any excuse to get a ban reason on the person, etc.
Well, certainly
Hmm?
continue. Sorry.
I was gonna say people who what was I gonna say actively you're actively trying to ban people. They're not like looking for evidence. They'll get an admin help that so and so has killed me, and they'll just assume that they're guilty without checking any of the various like variables or anything.
Without doing the homework and trying to find out
Yeah.
what really happened.
Yeah, without looking through chat logs and etc.
Okay. What is the best antagonist you've ever seen from a player?
Ooh, like is this like a story round kind of thing
Yeah,
going on?
please. That's what I want to hear.
Ooh, that's a tough one. We got a lot of antagonists.
Oh, I'm sure it's Warhammer
It's
40K.
it,
Yeah.
it happened a while ago,
Hmm.
but you know who George Mellons is, right? He's been on the server.
I remember George Mellons and I remember
Yeah.
Cuban Pete and many other
George
people.
Mellons George Mellons was quite good at toxins, right? Maybe not Cuban Pete levels, but before we removed Atmos because it was destroying our code and buggy as hell, we had removed the bomb cap because we were like, hey, it's 40K, this why not? And throughout the course of a round, he baited using a voice changer. He would be like, "Oh, help! George Mellons is killing me in cargo," and then you know some Imperial Guardsmen rushed down to cargo, and the entirety of cargo would cease to exist. He detonated an explosive and proceeded to do this throughout the round until there was no one left on the station, and the station was so absolutely and utterly fucked, we had to restart the round manually.
That's genius.
It was glorious.
There's a reason why people like, George Mellons and Cuban Pete are well and far known.
Uh,
They have earned their place in the lore of Space Station 13.
oh yeah.
So, what is the worst antag you've ever seen?
Um, Someone who didn't quite understand quite how lethal our server is. Like there are from round start, a lot of jobs in high up positions have like 40 burn damage weapons, right? The combat is lethal. People die quickly. Stuns are like just a guaranteed win. I know there already are in Space Station, but you can kill someone in about 3 seconds with a stun. And this guy decides to try and pull out the double E sword and just like run down a corridor and kill someone. And the enforcer, who, for those out there who know about 40k, is the arbiter, shot him twice in the face with a shotgun at like 30 seconds into the round, and that was the end of it. It was it. He like spawned, bought two E swords, charged down a corridor, and died in about 30 seconds.
That's genius, though.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing, mate?
All right, what is the most favorite round of Space Station 13 you've ever witnessed so far, and why?
On any server?
On any server.
About 2 years ago, on Paradise Station, um, I was playing as I was an internal affairs agent, and it was a changeling round. And the blue shield was, I think, Alice Pearson. I have a picture on my computer. It's a shame it's broken. Um, was like gathering a team to hunt changelings with. So there's me with a lockbox of security implants as like the security representative. Alice is running around with a fire axe. We've got the clown with an instrument following us around, making honk sounds. Um, the janitor was cleaning up any mess we made along the way, and we've just got this like kill team of like anti-changeling stomping around the station. Oh, hello.
That's
Okay,
genius.
so my screen went black. I got worried.
Oh, it's all
Um,
right. That happens from time. It's
so
it's
like we'd like enter the room and be like, we're gonna loyalty implant you, and they'd be like, and they'd try something and like, the stun batons would come out from everyone's inventory, bash them to the floor. Alice would axe them to death. The janitor's mopping up the floors, we're like cutting their head off.
so it's just a train like a party designed
Yeah,
to
man.
fight evil.
You know,
Even
I'm
had a
just
bard.
yeah, I've got this like secure lockbox, just bashing a changeling's head in with it. Like, it's great.
That's genius. So, what is the best sort of player for your station or your community?
Um, Someone who has a rough, if not decent, knowledge of Warhammer 40,000, as it's very complicated to try and explain everything.
Yeah,
Someone who is friendly to a degree, like you can. I don't expect everyone to be shining examples of humanity, but someone who's not actively looking to cause arguments or ire to other players. Um, and people who like to roleplay, really, because we want to make a push to medium RP because we're currently very much low RP,
well,
but
the
it's
action kind of
difficult.
does that.
Mm, it's difficult to try and make that change without having role players and having your system set up in such a way that it encourages it.
Yeah, I understand that. I've gotten that from other interviews. It's very hard to kind of change
Mm,
a server from one level of RP to another, or to keep it at that level. It's very difficult.
without like almost pointless like bans and warnings, like oh you failed to interact properly, like
Yeah, and
you know,
that's one of those things you want
it's
to try
just
to
like
avoid.
yeah,
I understand that.
difficult.
Now, what would you say are the worst sorts of people for your community? People you just would not want to show up.
Um, Obviously trolls and griefers, no one wants people who are there on like malicious intent to intentionally valid themselves in order to ruin other people's rounds. We've had a few people like that.
Yeah,
Like they'll break into somewhere and then wait for security to fire at them just so they can start killing people. You know what I mean? Like they'll valid themselves in a sense.
yeah, I understand that.
Um, yeah, which is like on the occasionally doing that is all right. But we've had people who just like round on round would you know, they've got a crafted stun prod at like 3 minutes into the round. They're intentionally trying to just
Yeah,
murder
I see
people.
that a lot on TG, where someone will just 3 minutes into a round has two stun prods and the dragon one more behind them.
Yeah.
Um, what is your favorite event in Space Station 13 and why?
Um, Event is it like admin hosted event or just like special round
Any of
type?
it's special round, admin hosted event, any of those categories.
Um, I like it on because our server, as I said, is very combat orientated. So when a lot of the original crew have died and most of the server is now using their like second life thing, the admins can get a bit more free with interacting with the round. So we'll spawn in like kill teams to like clear out Tyranids and you know when people are like sending messages back to I guess CENTCOM but not the communications console. We'll respond very actively to that as if there was a ship in orbit, which is like what the law said. Um, that's my sort of favorite kind of thing to do. There's not really any specific event I can think of, but um, yeah, like interacting with the players through the rounds happenings is always enjoyable.
Now, you see this sometimes on some stations, and some stations never have them. Are you familiar with nations rounds?
Our code is a bit ancient. We don't have nations.
Ah,
Although I have played it a few times. I never really understood it though. From what I gathered, the Blue Shield and Cargo always win.
Cargonia always wins. That's damn right.
Well, as someone who played Quartermaster pretty much solid for about 6 months on Paradise 2 years ago-ish, I would agree Cargo should always win.
Cargonia should win. We can agree on that. So here's another question. I take questions sometimes from my fans and my followers and my
Oh, yeah.
minions. And one of them asked, "Why are our prayers never answered in Space Station 13?"
If you come on Archangel, we will answer your prayers.
But
Be it sarcastically with 12 cookies, or depending on the scenario, you might get healed. We might gift you items. It we do because the Chaos Gods exist
oh
and the
yes,
Emperor. We have a lot of freedom there to interact through a role-playing manner with the prayer system because of the existence of the Emperor, Chaos Gods, etc.
oh that is
Gives us
very
a lot of
interesting
freedom.
because many stations generally don't have a need or want to interact through that way. But you guys
Hmm.
certainly do. I mean, you have the God Emperor of Mankind, you have the four Chaos
Yeah, yeah,
Gods,
yeah,
you
yeah.
have Mork and Gork.
Walk and Gork,
Yeah,
yeah.
you've got the Catan or whatever you wanna play with, and you have plenty of opportunities to directly
Yeah.
influence or add some chaos to the situation.
Hmm. We try not to, we try not to just do things like let's send in 10 corn berserkers for a laugh. Like we don't, you know, not keen on that. But if the chaplain is a traitor and is praying to corn for a weapon worthy of the slaughter, he might get a chain axe. I'll be honest.
That's
You
interesting.
know,
I like that. I like that answer.
as long as he words it nicely, or give him a quest. That's always fun. Give him a quest.
Oh yeah. Oh
Bring
yeah.
me bring me a severed head to the altar in the chapel, and you shall be rewarded. You know.
So here's a good question. Do you usually play Space Station 13? On what servers? What jobs? And why?
I pretty much only play on Archangel. I do enjoy other servers, but it's kind of like home in a way, and it's always nice being able to administrate while I play. I very rarely deadman, like where you de-admin yourself for the round. Um, I mainly play if I'm actively adminning janitor because I can kind of just clean stuff, and if someone A helps, me leaving my body to go and deal with it is fine. Um, if I'm playing a more active role, I generally play cargo because there's nothing quite like security walking in and finding an armory larger than theirs.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
And they're like, you can't have this. And you're like, I'm in the Minotaurum. It's in storage. Fuck off.
That's a
And they can't do
good
anything
answer.
because it's all in the storage room. Uh, who else do I play? Before we took out Atmos for just destroying the code. We changed something and Atmos destroyed our code. Toxins quite a lot
There's a lot
because
you can do there, yeah.
well, we have no bomb cap. We still have no bomb cap. You just can't make toxin bombs anymore. But so you really could just be like, don't stop. If I say the magic word, like yeah.
Damn.
Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
So, as an admin, how often do you press buttons?
Um, Fairly frequently. I mean, quite often it would just be in the Thunderdome, you know, experimenting with stuff, finding stuff out, testing reported bugs. But quite a lot of the time it will be, you know, the chaplain has prayed for a greater variety of clothing, and so I'll spawn him a chaplain's black wardrobe because it's only got cosmetics in it, or stuff like that. It's
So,
mainly
well,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying. You do try to press the buttons to
Mm,
figure out the admin commands, but also as well to answer the small little prayer
yeah.
requests and so on.
If like a space marine says like, hey, I've just spawned. I'd like to be an apothecary this round. Could you spawn me the night vision medical HUD and the surgery mechadendrite so I can, be an apothecary? I'll be like, yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
'Cause you're already a space marine, right? I'm adding a bit of fluff to your character while also making it functional.
Yeah, no, that's more than reasonable. Now, what is the most rewarding part of being an admin?
Um, when I after a round can look through the Discord and see people posting screenshots of like stuff that's happened because of sort of being an admin. I mean, people like having laughs and like, wow, wasn't that great? I can't believe this happened. Throwing screenshots out and all kinds of stuff like that's. I don't know. It's great to see like people enjoying themselves and having a good time on the server, and knowing that I'm sort of helping them enjoy it. In a sense.
Yeah, yeah, you were there to help them have a good time.
Yeah.
Now, what is the just in your opinion, what is the
Mhm.
very best map for Space Station 13 and why? What do you enjoy the most?
Um, I don't know if there's other maps. I don't. I've only like. I know there's the Paradise map where cargo is sort of down and to the left. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But our map, cargo, if you come out of arrivals, is like up and to the left in the main square. And that's like I don't know what the map is called. It's just the map we play on.
Well, some
Um,
people are very peculiar or particular about what
yeah.
maps they'll play on, and some are not. Some are like,
Uh,
ugh.
yeah, our map has some custom elements. Not many. Security looks different mainly. Um, but otherwise, yeah, no, I'm not really familiar with many maps. I don't really play many other split stations.
All right. And here's another good one, and this is
Mm-hmm.
my favorite final question to end on.
All right.
Clown or mime?
We don't have a clown.
I
Okay, we
mean,
do, but it's a celebrity. Oh, sorry. Oh, well, my preference.
yes.
Oh, I'd go honk all the way, dude.
Honk all the way. Okay. Excellent.
The mime can't slip people and then steal their backpack and run off, right?
Fair point. Also, they're French, and some people don't like that.
Yeah, and you can't talk.
Some of them get around it with PDA, but I think that's cheap.
Yeah, that's cheating. You
Now,
need to slip them and steal their PDA.
there you go.
You don't deserve to talk.
Yeah.
Not your God-given right.
How can you honk if you have no arms? Yeah. So, as we've reached the end of the interview, do you have anything you want to communicate to the Space Station 13 community? Shoutouts, apocalyptic warnings, requests, or so on? This time is yours.
Um, uh, I wasn't prepared. I haven't prepared for this segment.
Oh,
I'll be
it's
honest.
fine. I mean, no, if you just
Um,
want to say, thank you guys for playing, or come check out our
yeah.
server, anything you want to do.
Um, yeah. No, thanks for listening to me ramble for however long.
24 minutes.
Um, please come and check out the server. We always welcome new players. Please don't grief the server. If you are going to check it out. Um, I don't know. I guess shout out to Wonkmin for being a cool guy on Reddit, but otherwise, that's like not
Otherwise,
really.
you can all burn in hell.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Otherwise, Corn will feast on your blood.
See,
Um,
there's an ending line. That's it. That hit me with it again. I want to hear that.
Corn will feast on your blood.
There you go. So, anyways, this has been a Space Station 13 interview. Upvote and subscribe if you want, and check in the description below. I will drop the server link and the contact link if you want to be interviewed. Thank you very much.